Hey all, and this is the Gargantuan Grand Prix. This is a Light Slayer event and Beast Killer. So I don't have that many Light Slayer cards that are actually going to do too much damage. You can see here the best of the cards that I have. I have managed to come up with an idea here though that may work. I will talk through that in a bit. You will need to replace a couple of the cards though. Then I have a Light Commander team. Then my usual Water Slayer teams. These will both probably be my most effective option, especially the team here. I will talk through those again as well. You've seen me use them in previous videos if you watch my other videos. Anyway, let's talk through this team. The first three cards are the important cards out of this team. The last two you'd want to swap. You may need a conversion card, which is why I have Twin Fangs on the team. If you have the event ultimate form, that would be perfect as the final card to replace my Beast Killer card. So Will of Calliope, hopefully I said that right. This has a decent increase to Light Slayer attack, you can see here. 700%. Metaverse Masters, one of the key cards. Gives the next hero to use their battle skill a 150% damage buff. And Bewitching Conjurers, this is the card that you'd want to do all the damage. The reason this card is good for dealing damage is that it can be reset. So what you'd want to do with this team is use Metaverse Masters on its own. Then on the next turn, use Bewitching Conjurers, then Metaverse Masters again, then Bewitching Conjurers again, and that will hopefully work. Then use Will of Calliope to increase that Light Slayer attack. And then this would be replaced with some sort of conversion card. You could use Twin Fangs since it does basically convert all the dark gems to light because it creates so many light gems, you can see here. And then Enlightened Yokai. This is unfortunately the only Light Slayer Beast Killer card that I have that's reasonably modern, so it kind of has to be on the team. Replacing this with the event ultimate form would be perfect though for this team, since the event ultimate form has a good increase to damage. That's that team idea. I have seen quite a few other teams. There's one that uses Silent Knights and Supreme Elohim, so I'll just bring up both of those cards. This one increases Light Slayer attack by 140%. There's Silent Knights over here. Immortal Killer, only a slight increase to Light Slayer attack. You could try combining this with High Performance Unit Area. That might give a potential option. If you are taking on the multi-bosses as well, you are going to need multiple teams, so bear that in mind. Unfortunately, there's not much else I can show here with my Light Slayer cards, since I don't have that many, so I'll just go on to the relics. This is basically just my best relics with enough relics to break the shields. There's nothing too exciting about these. Here we go. I don't think this even breaks enough shields. No, it only breaks the 3 beast shields. I don't think there were any other beast relics here, so I would need to play about with this team if I was going to take on the higher level bosses. But this was only intended for the low level stuff anyway. My Water Slayer team will hit a lot harder than this. So I'll move on to my Commander team. I only recommend using this if you are really struggling for ideas, or you want to take on the multi-bosses. Divine Sovereigns gives the next Light Commander to use their battle skill a 500% damage buff, combined with Metaverse Masters, gives a 150% damage buff. Then Twin Fangs again self-damage increase converts all the dark gems to light. Peerless Prefects, this increases light commander damage. If used correctly, you can get a buff of 125%. Then Afterlife Alliance, this is the Beast Killer card. Increases light commander damage by 70%, but has a long cooldown. But yeah, that's something you could try for the multi-bosses. It's not doing that much damage, but it is an idea at least. Then moving on to my Water Slayer teams. The first one is the main hitting team. Some of you have probably seen this before, but I will talk through it again. Holiday Saints gives the next water hero to activate their battle skill a 500% damage buff. Can be used on commander cards as well. Metaverse Masters again with that 150% damage buff. Both used to boost up Sovereigns of the Dance. This increases self-damage and converts all the dark gems to water. Frontier Titans, this is the Beast Killer card. This also has a huge increase to Water Slayer damage, making it a really good card. Then High Performance Unit Area, this is used to get that supercharged buff up to increase Immortal Killer attack and basically boost up Sovereigns of the Dance since this is Immortal Killer. Then for the relics, they don't matter too much as you need to take a hit with area, but I will show you them anyway. The first two relics are just to break the shields. This one breaks 4 beast shields plus 1 per Dark Commander ultimate. So that's 5 in total. Then another one that breaks the 2. Cater's Bow is also a good option. You can see here has a slight percentage increase to water attack, making it always quite useful. And then this relic here, it's just one of my best relics for Water Slayer basically. Same here. Yeah, nothing too exciting. It's the first two relics though that are to break all of the shields. So this is my main hitting team. The variant over here won't hit anywhere near as hard. You need area on the team for that massive boost to Immortal Killer attack. The change is Wave Breakers. This does increase Water Slayer attack by 80%. It's quite an old card. It does have a delay on it as well. You can see in the passive. I would prefer something else that increases Water Slayer damage though. But since I don't have that many more Water Slayer cards, this is the best choice I think. But there we go, that covers the teams I'm using. There have been some really big hitting Light Slayer cards. Like I remember one that increases self-damage by 500% and then one that boosts the next Light Slayer hero up by 500%. Basically similar to this Water Slayer team. If you have those cards, that would be a really good option. Anyway, let's get on with the actual event. Here we go. Alright, so here's the actual event. I do have a Radiant boss up, which will be useful for testing my teams on. You can see here, multi-bosses are back, but sometimes they don't have the full 5 chain anymore. You can see a diamond one here that only has the 4. Then one underneath that does have the full 5. So I will go ahead and hit the Radiant boss you can see here. What I'm going to do first is use my Light Slayer team just to show you how the team works. Then I'll move on to my bigger hitting teams. So here we go. Right, so this team is pretty straightforward to use once you've got the hang of it. What you want to do first is just use Metaverse Masters like this, then match anything like so, and then on the next turn use Bewitching Conjurers, then go back to Metaverse Masters, then go back to Bewitching Conjurers again, something like that, so you get 2 boosts on Bewitching Conjurers, then basically just go left to right. Of course you'd want to replace the last 2 cards with better cards. But that's the basics of how to use this team anyway. Then Bewitching Conjurers didn't really do too much damage, as the last two cards didn't have any sort of boost. But it is a pretty straightforward team to use once you've got the hang of it. Then you would go again when all the cards are lit up. But yes, something to try anyway, for sure. I've seen hits of 500Q on Bewitching Conjurers, so this has the potential to do good damage. I'll do one more attack with this. You want a reasonable amount of power gems on the grid before using Metaverse Masters. Otherwise it won't crush and fill it up again. Then from here, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 2, then 1, then 2. Of course, I could mix up the order and try something like this. Not sure what this is going to do. It might crush together the entire grid. Yeah, that's not too bad. The order is entirely up to you, I guess. Depends on what cards you have, but you can see there it's doing Q damage. Not too bad then. With the right cards though, this would be an absolutely incredible team. Of course, I don't have the right cards, so I will move on to the team here. This team is intended to be used on the very first turn. The problem is I've had to put in a Dark Relic, so sometimes the gems don't match up immediately. But yeah, if this had all water relics on the team, I would be able to match this up on the very first turn every single time. It's worked this time, sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, it's just a straightforward left to right team. Pretty easy to use. Match the two highest gems. Like so, and then watch the damage. You can see already this is doing way more than my Light Slayer team. And this isn't even the strongest variant of this team. But yeah, pretty easy team to use. Just left to right when all the cards are lit up, basically. Thorns might cause me a few problems here. We shall see. I'm probably going to quit out anyway at this point, so it doesn't matter too much. That's quite a good grid though, quite a few loose power gems. Yeah, 8.6Q on the middle card. Sovereigns of the Dance. Let's quit out here. I'll only get one shot with this team though, as it will defeat the boss. But this is by far my best team for this event. I know I do use this team far too much, but it is ridiculously overpowered. Again, it's pretty easy to use once you've practiced with it. On the first turn, use Metaverse Masters like so. It will spawn some water gems. Try and match those with the dark gems. Then on the next turn, use High Performance Unit Area. Like so. There we go, nice. And then basically just go left to right. Nothing too complicated here. Try and get some loose power gems. Then match the two biggest ones. And then watch the damage. It's normally pretty spectacular with this team, but we will see. Sometimes 40, 50, 60Q. Let's see how many loose gems there are. Oh, it's quite a few. This should be a good hit. You can see the damage compared to the non-area team, though. It's way, way higher. Nearly 75Q on Sovereigns of the Dance. But yeah, that's the team I will be using for most of this event. It is actually a really good team considering it's water. Still one of my best, if not the best, Slayer team I have. So there we go, I've taken it up to the Umbral level. I will have one more go with my best team. You can see here, see how much damage I can do to an Umbral after I have locked the boss. Right, and here we go. Let's see how much damage I can do. Hopefully I'll be able to take off at least half the health of the Umbral, then I can rally it. You can see 300Q health. That's pretty high. And I'm taking it on with a water team. But then again, this is my best Slayer team, so it's the only team that's going to damage this for sure. Gem Silence on this boss. The other boss had Thorns. Gem Silence is pretty nasty. Luckily, Iria removes that, so not a problem for this team. Another reason why it's a really good team. First hit did 63Q. So what I need to do now is wait for Iria to be active. Make sure I don't use Iria when the turn counter is on 2. Very easy to do that. Then wonder why Gem Silence was not removed and I didn't get the supercharge buff up. It's easy to do that. Do pay attention to that turn counter. Not so much of an issue during Commander, but during Slayer it is. Right, anyway, we're going to go again. Let's see what I do to the boss. Well, that's a poor grid. Nothing loose. That will be a really bad hit. Yeah, 33Q. Well, it's not a bad hit, is it? Just compared to what I can do, it's pretty low. Right, we'll try again. This is what I will be doing for the event anyway. Looking for locked or my own solo bosses, then hitting them with this team. It's not so good on other people's bosses. The Light Slayer teams that are available are really powerful, so I don't think I will be getting much on those. But any of my own bosses, this is fine for. I will get one more attack out, I would have thought, in the time. I haven't been playing that quickly. Been talking too much, I think. Anyway, let's go for it. Remove that nasty Gem Silence with Iria. Then hopefully do a spectacular hit, but we will see. I need to do over... only around 20 or 30Q, and that will be enough to have taken off half the health of the boss. Then I can just rally it. Yeah, there's one... oh no, 2 loose power gems. That should be pretty good. 65.1Q. Yeah, that's well over half. And that gives you a good idea of what my teams can do for this event. It will be mostly on my Water Slayer Beast team. Alright, so we're going to move on to the collections now. Pretty much done with team testing. So here's the collection this time around. Potions, unfortunately. Not the best collection, but those epic potions at the bottom are actually pretty decent. So it could be worse, it could be gold. Let's go ahead and claim all of this. There we go. Right. Well, I've got those Slayer Evolution charms. I'm actually completely out of those, so those are kind of handy as well. And then if we go over to the Ultimates page, I will go ahead and claim the random 6-star hero. Alright, so here we go. What am I going to get this time around? Let's see. Oh, that's... I have no idea what that card is. Oh, we're about to find out. This might help me out with this event. You never know. It's probably a really old card, but... oh, it's from this deck. Okay, well, that's still okay. At least I can take this up to 2 pink stars. It's always nice when that happens, even if it's a really old ultimate form. But there we go. That's what I got from the random 6-star hero. And now I should have a look at what it is this time around. It is a smaller Legends League as well. Probably seen only 158 in this league. So if I can do well with this event, I should actually get a decent payout. It's going to be quite hard to stay in this league though. And it's a Dragoon. Oh, a Dark Dragoon. That could be really useful with my GVG attack team since my main team is Dark. Increases self-damage, so it is actually a hitting card, but it depends on what it specialises into. But there we go, that's what the Dragoon is like. I can't really say too much about it until I know its specialisations, unfortunately. But it looks okay. Anyway, let's go out of there. And let's go ahead and finish off this video by having a look at the actual event ultimate form. Beast Riding Brawlers. Now on first glance this card doesn't look that good, but that light slayer damage increase of 225% is huge. One of the biggest, if not the biggest, I've seen for all light slayer cards. Normally a damage buff that big is only for one card, but this time it's for all of them. So yeah, that's a really, really strong card. Plus it cleanses 2 enemy debuffs. The power gems it creates are not that good though, so you will need other cards with this. But yeah, that is a really good ultimate form. They've released some absolutely cracking decks this season. It's going to be very, very difficult to rate them, unfortunately, as pretty much all the decks are incredibly good. For the individual cards though, you don't want to get this one as it just creates the power gems. Oh, it does have the cleanse as well. However, this card here, Cutthroat Prodigy, has that massive damage boost, and that's the card you want. In actual fact, that's almost as good as the ultimate form on its own. So yeah, if you can't get the full deck, just get the one card, and that will probably help your team out just on its own. Right, anyway, let's go out of here. To finish off, let's have a look at the newsfeed. So what have we got in the newsfeed? Ultimate Warden, Gem Slayer. Oh yes, the Ultimate Warden event. Hopefully you all got that Ultimate Warden token. You only get the one for free though, so I didn't really talk too much about it during the video. But yeah, and here's the actual event. The multi-boss changes, I've already spoken a bit about that. I still think they should be taken out of Slayer and just kept in Commander if I'm being honest, but I don't think they're ever going to do that. They're probably still going to keep them in Slayer since there's special rewards for defeating them that you can claim from the quests page. And there we go, I think that about covers this video. I hope that was interesting and helpful. As always, if you do have any questions or suggestions regarding this video, please let me know in the comments and I'll do my best to help. If you did enjoy this video, giving it a like and subscribing is always appreciated. Thank you to those that have already subscribed. We have the previous week's event video on the screen, plus a playlist with all my Legendary Game of Heroes videos in it. Plus you can also subscribe from here as well if you want to. And thanks for watching.